been on the road with a bag face. In the kitchen cooking O's with a bag face. Pimpin', I be sending hoes for the bag face. At a fast rate, we can have a cash race. Big bag face, big bag face, big bag face. 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 Hey, it's a cash race, it's a cash race. Mr. Bagface, Mr. Bagface. I'm in the mirror doing what the dash say. Cause everything I gotta do the fast way. I got the bag, niggas got that mad face. Like nigga, all I did was pass on the play. Heavy gas, we don't mash on the brakes. I hit the jeweler with the bag on my face. Ice, 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 dance in they face. Ice, 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 dance in they face. Nice, nice, nice bands in the bands. If the price right, I'ma make a play. On the road with a bag face. In the kitchen cooking O's with a bag face. Pimpin', I be sending hoes for the bag face. At a fast rate, we can have a cash race. Big bag face, big bag face, big bag face. 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 I be on the road playing with them loads. I had to graduate from playing with them hoes. 100 bins to get money, I suppose. Cause I got it on my own and out the mud, now I'm on. 30 off of these, 40 off of those. 30 off of them, that's 100 more. 20 off the hoe, blow that on some clothes. Where the cameras at, I'm ready for the pose. Everywhere I go, I'm riding with them poles. But we ain't finna do no fishing in this hoe. I'm pimping in this hoe, I'm glistening in this hoe. I'm winning, choose up on this ism in this hoe. Been on the road with a bag face. In the kitchen cooking O's with a bag face. Pimpin', I be sending hoes for the bag face. At a fast rate, we can have a cash race. Big bag face, big bag face, big bag face. 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 Count up this 100 and go crazy. Hit the mall with my little baby and go crazy. Pushing Sport Plus in the foreign, it go crazy. Thicker than a motherfucker, baby. Now let me see you make it go crazy. Now let me see you make it go crazy. We finna count up this 100 and go crazy. Go crazy. I'm pushing Sport Plus in the foreign, it go crazy. Pushing the foreigns, if it ain't then it's boring. We trapping nice for the paper and count it up in the morning. I might drill in your bitch and then send her back in the morning. Got a call from the plug and he said tonight we be scoring. I like the grip for the paper, she like the strip for the paper. Let's count this money together, then go and shit on them haters. I done slid in them scrapers, now I be all in that Benz. Put my bitch in a Rover so she can stunt with her friends. She be taking this paper, then we be splitting the ends. Peter's ism is major, them clowns pimpin' pretend. I be counting them blues, conversating with Ben. My vision different through these Cartier lens. We finna count up this 100 and go crazy. Hit the mall with my little baby and go crazy. Pushing Sport Plus in the foreign, it go crazy. Thicker than a motherfucker, baby. Now let me see you make it go crazy. Now let me see you make it go crazy. We finna count up this 100 and go crazy. Go crazy. I'm pushing Sport Plus in the foreign, it go crazy. I like to fuck with the bitches, and I'm into my linens. Fly nigga, I examine my Louis Vuitton stitchings. And I love a chick with pretty eyes, thick thighs. I love every outfit that I got with the Fendi eyes. Pulling up 200 on the dash with the guys. AMG kid, your nigga in the Dodge coming shy. Lights Gucci over here, baby. I'm like, yeah, baby. I talk designer cause that's all that I wear, baby. Can't a gangster get money anymore? Let my pants sag down to the floor. Really do it matter as long as I score. In a stretch Lex with about 6 doors. We finna count up this 100 and go crazy. Hit the mall with my little baby and go crazy. Push a Sport Plus in the foreign, it go crazy. Thicker than a motherfucker, baby. Now let me see you make it go crazy. Now let me see you make it go crazy. We finna count up this 100 and go crazy. Go crazy. I'm pushing Sport Plus in the foreign, it go crazy. Now we going crazy this summer, nigga. When up in them Benzes, CLA 45, AMG kits, all that shit. Tryna get a bag though, blue strips, all that type shit, designer shit. I want one of the Gonzalez twins. I gotta win. No, she rockin' red bottoms, Dolce Gabbana and all that. Yeah, just like me. Oh, you got that bag too?
Hold it down for a P.
Yeah.
Hold it down for a P. Hold it down for a P. Hold it down for a P.
Hold it down. We finna count up this 100 and go crazy. Hit the mall with my little baby and go crazy. Push a Sport Plus in the foreign, it go crazy. Thicker than a motherfucker, baby. Let me see you make it go crazy. Now let me see you make it go crazy. We finna What's happening, man? It's Hunter Rack 6, man, and you tuned in to the MACKIN show. Today, man, I got a real dope guest. Very impactful man in the city, man. He's an author, a teacher, a therapist, a philosopher. Jason SHANKLE.
Yeah, much respect,
welcome,
much
man.
respect.
I appreciate you pulling up on me, man. Mackin in with me, man.
Yeah, already.
Man, you got a lot of stuff going on, brother.
I do.
Yeah, you're an author, you're a therapist, a teacher. And we gonna get into a lot of that later. But I want to start off with who's Jason SHANKLE? Like, where did you grow up at? How was it coming up where you grew up at?
So I'm from Park Hill. I grew up here during the bloody 90s. It didn't look nothing like this. I mean, drive-bys was normal, TV in the closet. I mean, after a while, you just stop flinching. It's like the 4th of July. I can still tell the difference between a real gunshot and fireworks.
Yeah.
That's easy. But yeah, growing up during the bloody 90s, a lot of my cousins, Bloods, Crips, stuff like that. But I was in my own game type of stuff because, growing up, basketball was my way out. But yeah, growing up here at Park Hill, I got my father's side of the family from Texas, but I grew up here.
Yeah.
And if I got family all over the east side, you know how it is, man. You from me, man. You got people with Montbello. You got, man, my grandma stayed off of Bruce Randolph and Columbine and all of that. But, man, I'm a hillbilly.
Yeah.
I'm from the hills.
Yeah. Man, one thing I seen you share it on your page not too long ago. Your family has your own town in Texas, Shankleville.
Yeah, much respect.
That's dope, man. Tell me about that, bro. How that feel?
It feel amazing to go out there in that land. Wayne and Jimmy Shankle, they're actually the first freedmen. The term they would use is freedmen.
Yeah.
If you're just like, you came up and then you're just like, no, we ain't no slave. They got so they have about 3,000 acres. And it's been in my family for, I think it's coming up on 135 years. So I got to go out there. It used to be a working city.
Yeah.
But, going out there, we still got that. It's right near Jasper, Texas. And
where is that? Is that like East Texas, West Texas?
East Texas, near the boot, Louisiana.
Okay.
So literally, shoot, man, you drive further enough through Jasper, you're going to be in the bottom boot of Louisiana.
Yeah.
And so it's Jasper and then Shankleville.
Okay.
But yeah, Shankleville, Texas. I always knew that. My father would always tell me that. He's like, man, you a king. He's just like, man, you got a whole city named after you. And he was like, and ain't no slave man that gave us these names and stuff. Because Shankle's German.
Okay.
and we got to break out of this. They brought us over here stuff. We was already here.
Yeah.
We was already here. We
Most
had all the
definitely.
temples here and stuff like that. So, yeah. That was, I could feel my ancestors walking around me. It was very surreal. And to see and to get to touch the tombstone. I touched the tombstone from the 1700s. And I got to like.
One of your ancestors.
Yes.
So they're like, some of your ancestors are buried on this land.
Yes.
That's dope.
That's probably like 30 or maybe like 40 or 50, maybe 50, I don't know, maybe 40, 30 generations removed.
Wow.
Like I got to like I know who I am.
Yeah.
I know where I come from. And then Shankleville, yeah, they were the first. So I got to, and it was big old town.
That's like history.
Everywhere.
Like that's a big part of history.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, Michael Strahan's mom is a Shankle. That's my cousin.
Word, okay.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Shout out Michael Strahan.
Yeah,
man. You do kind of look like Strahan.
A little bit.
Nah.
Yeah. Shankleville, Texas.
Like the town, is it just, what does it look like? Is it like, different houses on this land, or what does it look like?
So it used to be a working town where it was schools and all, like literally a town.
Okay.
And it was big. I mean, 3,000 acres, that's a lot.
Right.
Right now, today, it has these two monumental cemeteries.
Okay.
One is the Shankleville Cemetery. The other one is the Shankleville Community Cemetery.
Okay.
So the one that is the Shankle Cemetery is where, I literally get to, man, I could trace it back. My cousin Pat and my cousin Emmett, we was literally out there. We was like, man, that's Trojan. That's da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
Man, we going back. We like, damn, we almost 40 generations removed. And it ain't no mystery where we, got post-its everywhere. They go, who is that? We literally walking up on tombstones like, this is so-and-so to so-and-so. This is so-and-so to so-and-so. So, and this is, from the Africa piece all the way here. This is where it is, because his name wasn't Jim. He had another African name. So it was Jim and Wendy. So that's
a blessing to just be able to have that, because it's like most of us, like we like finding out about our ancestry through, Ancestry.com and DNA tests and things like that. So to be able to just do that without the help of technology, like that's a blessing, bro.
That was legit. It was legit. So and then the Shankle Community Cemetery, I put it like this, like, it was so big with so many other names, with Shankle names. It was, the Odoms, related. I didn't even get through 40% of that cemetery. Yeah. It was so big. Okay. It was so many names. Yeah. So it was all of this over here, and then over here was that, the immediate Shankles. The Shankles was over there too, but to walk and just make all those connections, get to touch my great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather's tombstone. It was just, not a lot of African Americans get to do that.
Man, you the first one that I've heard that can.
Oh, okay.
I ain't gonna lie, like that, to go that far back.
Yeah.
I ain't never heard nobody tell me that they could go that far back.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Texas, 135 years.
Shankleville, man, I'm gonna have to pull up one day, man.
Pull up.
Now, I went to high school with you for a couple years, man, and I always knew you would do something dope with life. You know what I'm saying? But I never thought that you would have been a teacher.
Me either.
Yeah. So you were actually a teacher at the Community College of Denver.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
So I taught psychology and business at the Community College of Denver. I love teaching psychology. Yeah. I did it for 5 years. I got a professor of the year. That was really, really dope. That was really cool. But I loved it. I loved it. I remember sitting down with Dr. Carol Miller. She was one of the deans there. Mm-hmm. And I'll never forget what she told me. She said, she met me, and she said, gave her my CV, and somebody else had referred me there. And she said, you know what? And she talked with me. She asked me some questions, and she's like, wow, you answered these questions really different. She said, I'm going to give you a chance. And she said, I'm going to let you teach some business classes. Yeah. But I'm gonna send you over there to the dean for the psychology department. It's up to you to go have a conversation. And she said two things is gonna happen. It's either you going to get in front of this class, not liking it, not know what you're doing, and you're gonna come and tell me you don't want to do it, and I'll just replace you.
Yeah.
Or something's gonna connect within you. And the minute I got up there, it just connected. So I love teaching psychology. I love my students. Always run into myself. I was actually up at AHRRNETWORK campus today sitting on a panel.
Yeah.
And just kind of, walking through memory lane a bit. I was like, oh, man, I remember this. I remember that. You know what I mean? But I love that. Because we're erudites. An erudite is somebody that pursues knowledge with reverence.
Yeah.
And to be, it was an honor to be there, to teach and stuff. And really, I'm a philosopher. It is always there.
Yeah.
But I didn't see that coming. I didn't see me becoming a therapist. The Most High has a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can feel wicked a little
Yeah.
bit, but, it's all good.
That's dope. So what made you want to go into being a teacher?
I when I got my master's in psychology from Regis, I just remember thinking I was following my spirit because I started off in the MBA program, and this is the thing, it's a lesson. Sometimes it's I don't do everything for love. It can't all be about love. It has to be about understanding as well. Understanding with the symptom, a strong symptom of love. Love is important. But I found myself, and it's also to know who you are and know what you don't love and what you fall out of love with.
Yeah.
Sometimes we keep ourselves in situations. So I'm saying that to say I was in that MBA program and I realized I didn't love it no more.
Okay.
So that's what led me to go to the psychology and stuff like that. So I think your question was, what made me become a teacher. Yeah, I just, the minute I got up there, it just felt like my spirit was always doing this.
Okay.
And then I got to see how it was actually helping people. Because growing up, I lacked compassion because of the way I grew up and the stuff that I seen and family trauma and stuff like that. So, supporting and wanting to help people off the bat, even though how I moved and stuff like that, keeping my heart good. Mm-hmm. But yeah. I just, I got up there and I just fell in love with it.
It was just kind of natural to you.
It was natural. And then it's the study of the mind.
Yeah.
Study of the mind. And, my favorite chapter for my students was the theories of personalities and personality disorders.
Okay.
And mental disorders and stuff. So I would have them do projects and stuff like that. And there would be moments where some students would be doing it and then I would help them. And there'll be a moment where I'll be walking in the hallway. They always see me with a book. They said, man, Professor Shankle always got a book. I'm just like, hey, man, shoot, read. Yeah, you gotta feed your mind. And there was so many times where students intentionally will watch me. And they would come up and talk to me. And then there was times where students would open up to me and say, I took your class specifically because of what people would say about you. And plus, I have a mental disorder. Mm. I'm not just here to get a grade. I'm here to save myself. Word. I'm here to understand what is going on with me in terms of the psychology of my mind. Mm. So it was much more than me just being a professor.
Yeah.
There was individuals that was in there like, man, some students is like, man, they're like, I had a suicide attempt years ago. And them opening up to me about that and just saying, had to get on medication, getting off of that and things like that. And that's the reason why I'm taking your psychology class. So, with those stories like that, it just made me realize, man, I'm much more than just a professor in here.
Yeah, I could see that because it's like, all right, now, like, there's another purpose for me doing this now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. It's not just for me to make $1 and pay my
Exactly.
bills, like I'm actually helping some folks now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's dope.
Exactly. Yeah,
So
yeah.
at
Many
what point
stories.
did you decide, like, all right, I'm a stop teaching, and I'm gonna go and start my own therapy practice, because you have your own therapy practice, Inner Self and Wisdom, right
Yeah,
now.
inner self and wisdom.
Yeah. So tell us, like, when did you decide to make that transition?
Yeah. So I have this practice coming up on 9 years. It's over near East High School, across from City Park, down there in Park Hill,
Okay.
wherever I'm from. So I got a real reverence for that. And so it was interesting. I didn't meet a black male therapist until I was like maybe 30, 31. So shout out to my partner, Randy Craven. I was doing some work for YASPA, and one of my favorite workshops to do was the 5 love languages, and I had the sheet so they could just do it in class, and just to get them to understand what words of affirmation is, physical touch, acts of service, all of that stuff. And I happened to be, it was at, dang, what school was that at? I think it might have been at Aurora Central. And I was just doing that because I was just following my intuition. I was just like, hey man, I'm teaching these classes. I said, and he reached out to me. I said, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And I happened to be walking in and ran into Randy. I never met him before that. And we both go to the same place. Cause I figured, okay, black man, we probably going to the same place because it's on a Saturday, And we walking in there, and the classic. I mean, what do you do? Well, and he said, man, I'm a therapist. And I was sitting there like, you a therapist?
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. And I said, well, I'm a psychology professor. He said, oh man, that's cool. And then, people was going to his class, people was coming to my class. And it was just one of those things, around that time I was reading the Metu Neter, Oracles of Tuhiti, and he's into Kemet and Ausar set. So we was talking, and some of those pieces I said, dang, this is cool. So that is how that first seed was planted.
Okay.
Because while I was in the psychology program, I ended up designing the Black Male Initiative Summit at DU, and then became a graduate assistant, and then got offered. They said, Dr. Tuitt. He said, "Hey man, you're talented." He said, "I'm the provost. You thought about getting your doctorate?"
Yeah.
And I said, "Dang. Well, if I'm a graduate assistant, I get a tuition waiver because I'm finishing. I'm at the very last part of my doctorate. So, be Dr. Shankle in a few months."
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, Dr. Shankle in a few months.
Congrats on that.
Yeah,
man.
right on. But that's how it began.
That's big.
Yeah.
You went from Big Shank to Dr. Shank.
Yeah. Switch it up. Yeah. See, and that's how we know we go back, because you said Big Shank. Some people like, man, what? All my family called me Jay, but then Big Shank said Big Shank. Yeah. But that's how it began. And then me and Randy, that's my partner, and then. And then I just thought to myself, I said, I feel like this is pulling me this way. I feel like this is pulling me this way. Because being a professor, it's all cool and well being in the academy, but it really don't pay the bills. Yeah. I got 2 kids, Junior and JL. I had to pay some of these bills. So being a graduate assistant, and then started to entertain this piece of being a therapist, and it was similar to how it was when I was a psychology professor. 2 things is going to happen. It's either you're going to adapt, and this is going to be connected to a purpose that you're going to feel like a part of you has always known how to do this. Yeah. Or there's going to be a rejection or a resistance to make you go, this is not for me. Yeah. That happened to me again. And the minute I sat down, and once again, there's people that have come to my office. Black man, I've been their first Black therapist for so many Black men. Yeah. It's man.
I didn't even really it was kind of similar to you. Like, I didn't really even grasp onto the concept of getting a therapist or, thinking about getting one until I was about 30, 33.
Yeah, yep.
And I still haven't I still haven't like actually done it yet. I do want to do it though, and I feel like it's a lot of black men that do want to do it. We just kind of like don't. If it's not in front of our face, we just gonna be like, whatever. You know?
Yeah.
So I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
putting those resources in front of black men will definitely help with, getting ourselves some therapy.
Yeah. Yeah. Real talk. Yeah, because it's called the African warriors posture in the Hispanic community for the men. They call it machismo. That comes from the African warriors posture that we have. It's like sleeping in armor everywhere you go, right?
Yeah.
Because that's really how it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When you walk out this door, man, shoot, you don't know if you're gonna get pulled over by the police, and if you into some street stuff, you don't know when the opposition or the adversary walking around here and they the same complexion as you.
Yeah.
So it's just like that African warriors posture. The message is you can't hurt me. But this is the thing: if you're constantly wearing armor and you have relationships with your family members and you're trying to raise your children to be compassionate, or if you're with a woman that's your queen, and this is the thing: intimacy is vulnerability. It's not just sex. You got to be emotionally available. You got to be emotionally available for yourself.
Right.
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's really vulnerability, because if you don't have that, it's like jumping in the water and not getting wet, because relationships are energy exchanges. Right. And that's the energy that we have with ourselves. But a lot of us black men have this African warriors posture. And it's not about a right or wrong. It's just a necessary thing that we've had to have. But we got to also work on these spiritual pieces and our mental health to sit down to process this trauma. Otherwise, it suppresses within us. So depression, suppression, pression is Latin for pressed down. So whenever you see suppression, depression, that means to press down.
Right.
And we smash it down. Because a lot of us are in survival mode. Yeah. As black men. Nobody has the plight of a black man. It's not up for discussion. It's like we gotta find a balance between the two. Yeah. Cause like we can't let that armor go. You know what I'm saying? We have to have that in order to get through, everyday life. But I feel what you're saying. We have to learn how to, know when to take it off. So I feel that. I like the way you put that. Necessary. Now, along with being a therapist, you have a what is it? The Black Mental Health and Wellness Coalition. Yeah. Tell us about that. Like, what's your goal with that? What kind of programs do you have a part of that? Yeah, much respect. Quite a few programs. So, the healing workshops. That's something that I do. Actually, I've done some of those workshops at Brother Jeff. So, the one that's requested the most is breaking generational, how to heal intergenerational trauma. Okay. So we talk about the patterns and stuff like that, the secret language and stuff, and then the workings of depression, and then also the power of self-care. So that's a program under my nonprofit. The other one, I also am a professor that I teach remote for CHARGEDUPFILMS University in Senegal. Okay. We're giving back, and that's under a project that I currently got. So hold on. We ain't gonna just let you skip over that. You actually you teaching you teach a class in Senegal? Remote. Yeah. So that's dope though. Yeah. So is this for a school in Senegal, or this is for CHARGEDUPFILMS University's school there, and these are for the students that actually can speak like a good mid-level understanding of English, because you know what I'm saying? And then I'm learning Wolof, because that's their native language. Okay. There. So, I teach the class in English, and, the goal is to be teaching in English and Wolof. But that's why I named this project the Bridges here. So to make that bridge between African Americans and Africans, because I literally was over there seeing the fruit of the labor in some of those pieces. Yeah. So, and the thing is so I teach Black psychology and in these classes, but I focus on mental health piece, because there's some cultures and language they don't have a concept of mental health. Okay. Because if there is no word for depression, and it is strictly tribal, and then you're marked with the word.
Yeah.
Right? They just go, this is a sungi. And sungi may mean something like, oh, you're marked because you have an arrogant spirit. But it may not actually be an arrogant spirit. Well, if that person has manic depression, or maybe this person is exercising boundaries that's not according to what the elders are saying, because just as much as the elders deserve respect, the youth deserve respect.
Yeah.
It's a bridge that we both got to stand on.
So in this class, are you teaching the people of Senegal at this university about the culture here?
Yeah, it does come up. It does, because my examples are going to be Americanized.
Right.
So there's going to be concepts they may not understand. They may be like, well, what does that mean? And then, you know, my connect, my homeboy there, Amadou, there's moments where he has to stop me, and he'll go, and then he'll speak in Wolof, or he'll speak in French.
Yeah.
And this is evident I'm picking up the play, and then afterwards I review with him.
Okay.
And I said, hey, from what I gleaned, when I said that word, you had to clarify it and tie it into something else. He said, you're right. Because when you said that, we don't have any concept of that. We don't have any concept of that.
That's crazy.
So if we're talking about depression, anxiety, certain pieces, it may be a parable or something that they tie into that to say, this is what this word actually means. But that's what I'm saying, like that mental health piece. And there's moments where I'll do these workshops I designed, this PowerPoint, and I'll just go through just talking about the 3 different levels of depression. And I got a whole bunch of slides, and that is more than enough meat to sit with, because individuals are now stepping up and kind of going, what you're describing, I feel like I've experienced.
Yeah.
But there in the country, they just say, Alhamdulillah. That means,
what does that mean?
Praises to Allah. Just give it to Allah. So if you're losing your mind, just Alhamdulillah. But it's spiritual, not to talk down on that, because I love learning Arabic and in the Islam culture, and I prayed in mosque there, and then even hearing that those things like that, because I'm spiritual. Can't convert. I'm already a God. I'm already a God. But learning some of those pieces, because when you go outside of this country, it's very important to learn the culture of the land and the faith of the land, because it's going to inform why traditions and why certain people move in certain countries in a certain way. Because we got the culture of violence here. Yeah. But us black men, you know, not to say that it's not there and things don't happen, but not to this degree. Yeah. So that's and it's an honor. Check out your job. Here is DIOP, Diop. But I was there, his name is French, so I'm just used to just saying it by French. You know, so when I'm saying check out the job for individuals, it is spelled DIOP, but in French, DI is job. Okay. So that's what I'm saying, job. Yeah. So
and let him know who he is.
Oh man. Man, Sheikh Al-Tajab is the world's greatest scholarly activist the world has ever seen. Yeah. John Henrik Clarke was tracking him down. Yeah. He wrote the foreword for his book, Civilization or Barbarism. He is responsible for keeping it historically correct. With the slave boats, when they said that, it was only 3 million, try 300 million, y'all, of the murder and everything like that. And then doing the radiocarbon and the genetics of the pharaohs. All 100% black. Yeah. Those individuals in Egypt. Egypt is the 19th name of that land. That is Kemet. Kemet means land of the black. They like to spin it off and say it's the soil, but we come from the soil with the earth. Right. So the Arabs, they're invaders. That place is called Kemet, and it was Sheikh Al-Tajab that was responsible for keeping the historical corrections, because people were actually going over there, going into pyramids, going, where's the mummies? Where's the mummies? And they're just like, oh man, this is becoming problematic, because people are starting to ask questions about these Hollywood mummy movies. If you notice, those movies have actually died down because Sheikh Al-Tajab was keeping it correct and breaking it down. He's like, it is literally the most impossible thing to say that anybody that was pharaoh, it's Egypt's in Africa, folks.
Right.
There is no such thing as a Middle East because there ain't no Middle West, there ain't a Middle North,
Right.
there's not a Middle South. Just use your reasoning mind.
Right.
Use your reasoning mind.
Yeah.
Right? See, and that's what religion does. The word religion comes from a Latin word religio, means to not have full control over your mind. So if a person is saying I'm religious, you're what you are saying is I don't have control over my reasoning mind.
Mm-hmm.
That comes from a word religio.
Right. Yeah.
Sound familiar? So this is still checking out the job stuff because, man, he's just his writings and how detailed he was. And also, you know, I got to sit in his office and see all his stuff and sitting in his chair and in the chalkboard and stuff. But man, he's the world's greatest scholarly activist. And this is the thing, when I was there, you really get the true history. I found out that what they had done there when the French was in control, they had shunned and put like a block on his books and certain students not to come to him. And this went on for about 20 to 30 years. People don't realize.
So they was keeping people from buying his books?
Yes.
Wow.
And I have some of his French books here and talking to the natives there.
Yeah.
Talking to the natives there. And it wasn't until he died in 1986 that was lifted. And he wrote many books, many books. But he is the one that is responsible for saying, yeah, these are invaders. Right. When Hannibal was kicking Rome's ass on a 16-year winning streak, like just listen to that. Yeah. A 16-year winning streak. And Africa was named Kush.
He was Tom Brady around.
Oh man, he was hanging his foot in their ass, man.
Funny.
They couldn't do Hannibal Barca.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, even Sun Tzu, every great war generalist was reading the 99 Truths of Hannibal. They'd like to try to dub Sun Tzu, the Art of War is that. All of that stuff from Hannibal.
Yeah.
Zhuge Liang. Y'all study y'all stuff too.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know
That's
that.
from Hannibal.
Yeah.
That's a black man.
Yeah.
That's
I'm going to have to look into that.
Yeah.
I've heard of
Barca.
Hannibal, but I didn't know, like, you know, I mean, I believe it, you know, but I didn't know that, you know, they got all of that from a black man.
Yeah, he's the world's greatest general in the world.
Yeah.
And you think about it too, how devilishly clever. It's interesting. I know this is on base because we kick a philosophy. You know, that movie with, you know, Anthony Hopkins, Hannibal, right?
Yeah.
It's like, why did they name it Hannibal? When you look it up, it's going to say Hannibal. You know, it's not, the black Hannibal isn't going to come up. The same thing they did with Black Panthers. That movie's going to come up before you see Huey Newton and Dr. Huey Newton, Fred Hampton, and stuff like that. I know we can sit there and go, oh man, it's a coincidence, but it's very, very intentional because there's not a lot of people that even know about Hannibal. And everybody, if there's anybody that is an enthusiast for war and not know Hannibal Barca, which was a black man, then you're sleeping on your studies. Right. You're really sleeping on your studies. So to that piece about Shekhar Job, man, he's the world's greatest scholarly activist, man. Yeah. I mean, he's the one that was keeping it correct and saying, hey, y'all, we come from the true beginning. I can prove it. And this is the thing, man. He's a genius, man. I think he had like 3 doctorates, man. I mean, it's just wild. Like, he was a scientist. He was a mathematician. He was a philosopher. He was, I think he had like 6 different degrees. And how I got that knowledge was having a tour there with a man that was actually there when he was alive. So he actually personally knew him. Yeah. So there was things that he could talk about that he was just like, I knew him before he died in 1986. He was way older. So I got to hear that those pieces. So man, check out that job, man. He's the world's, I mean, that's the thing. When we say, I'm going to be an Einstein, don't be an Einstein. Einstein was a moron. Yeah. He was a moron. Let's call it what it is. He's a moron. My thing is, hey, we should be saying, I'm not trying to be a check out that job. Right. Because really, there was no way his intellect could even touch the foot of check out that job.
Yeah, man. I I had read a couple things. I seen a couple documentaries too about, like them talking about how the Egyptians, they found this place like this. They didn't build these pyramids.
Right.
These pyramids were built thousands of years before they showed up here.
Thousands.
Yeah. So yeah, that's dope, and I'm gonna definitely look into that. If we can, man, let's try to put his name on the screen so we can know how to spell it.
Yeah.
That's a rough one.
Yeah. CHEIKH, and then Anta is ANTA, and then Diop is spelled DIOP.
Yeah.
Look him up, y'all. Look him up.
Kind of what you speaking on, this was a part of when you, because you just got back from Africa not too long ago. Was this a part of this trip when you went to Africa, when you got a chance to sit down in this university? And
yes, that was on my list. Because I went to the Door No Return. That was so deep. Man, I got to go into the same crawl space as Kunta Kinte. Because he was actually in one of those ports. Because it's literally Atlantic Ocean right there, and it's a beeline straight up into that Boston area.
Okay.
And I got to go to the Door No Return, but that was part of it because I knew Sheikh Anta Diop was from Dakar, Senegal.
Okay.
And it was ironic that I happened to order his book before I even went there. I had already had his book.
Yeah.
And then going down there with Brother Jeff. Shout out to Brother Jeff. We was down there shoulder to shoulder, and that was a blessing, and for it to be Senegal, right, and then also Papa Ja or Papa Dia of the African Leadership Group. He was already bringing a group down there, so we got to meet up with them and experience and help guide ceremony and stuff like that with them and stuff. So I mean, it was very fruitful, but that was part of it. The Renaissance. That big statue with the black man and the black woman and that young boy is pointing to the West, pointing to us, the African Americans. That's intentional.
Wow. What do you think the meaning of that is?
That we are the gods.
And tell them the name of this statue that you're talking about.
So it's called the Renaissance Monument. Yeah. It's in Dakar, Senegal. This thing is humongous. I mean, it's like the size of a mountain.
I seen you post a picture. It looked crazy.
It was critical. I mean, to get up them steps, I mean, you talk about, man, you get your cardio in. And it's a museum inside of it. It's a 3-floor museum inside of the monument.
Would you compare like the size to like one of the Red Rocks? Rocks up there, or was it bigger or smaller than that?
It was similar to that.
Yeah,
it was
that's
gigantic.
big.
It's bigger.
Yeah.
It's bigger than the Statue of Liberty.
Oh damn!
It's bigger than I mean, that thing was humongous. And then I got to go through the museum, and you got to take an elevator all the way up into the crown. And I got to look over the city of Senegal.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was. Man, it was breathtaking. But I found that interesting talking to the natives of the land and like understanding, like, okay, and to know that he's pointing towards the West.
Yeah.
Pointing towards the African Americans. I just think that's really interesting. You asked me what you think that means. What I think that means, that we are the gods. It's up for us to be awoken. Because you think about it, that's not what they planning on. African Americans and Africans to actually know who they are and not rely on the oppressor, because the system is the problem. We got to keep the problem, right. And then they pin African Americans and Africans up against one another. When I first got to Africa and I got off that plane, I'd never been somewhere but my spirit was always there. Yeah. It's kind of like when you walk in your living room, it's so familiar. I've never been to Africa before. Yeah. And then a lot of Africans that was there and who I was with, they said, welcome home.
So they embrace us over there. They're not like acting funny.
I was embraced.
Yeah.
I was embraced.
That's dope.
I was embraced.
Yeah. Were you able to like tell the some major cultural differences between us and them, and some similarities between us and them?
Yeah. One of the things that stood out the most to me was the culture of violence.
Mm-hmm.
Because, coming up in Park Hill, and I mean, you know how that is. You out here, and you know how it is.
Mm-hmm.
The culture of violence is sold to us here.
Yeah, it's just like a part of life.
Yeah, it's a part of life.
Yeah.
And it's the thing. It's not to say that they're just super all kumbaya, but, there was a moment when I was in the classroom, and me and Brother Jeff was talking to a class at CHARGEDUPFILMS University. And it was, and I would just never forget that when the question was asked, does anybody know anybody that was killed by the police here?
Yeah.
No hands went up.
That's
But
crazy.
one did.
Yeah.
And then we was curious. We said, dang. And everybody else turned around and said, who do you know that was killed by the police out here? George Floyd. That's what he
crazy.
said. George
Wow.
Floyd's name was being said all the way in Africa.
That's wild.
That's what he said.
Social media.
Yeah, social media. And this is the thing, what they show, and then I'm talking to them. They say, well, all they show us about y'all is when rappers getting drug overdose, rappers is killing one another,
Mm-hmm.
when there's scandal. We don't see y'all getting all these degrees. We don't, and I have to tell them, well, all they show us is that part near Pador, outside of Chase.
Yeah.
Where you driving there and they choose to live like that. Tribal, where they're like, no, we're going to live outside. And that's actually only 5% of Africa. There's actually more swamps in the state of Florida than it is the whole continent of Africa.
Oh,
so when
wow.
they try to make it sound like there ain't no buildings there, stuff like that, the most cleanest place in the world is Rwanda.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why they don't throw that in our face. They ain't saying Italy.
Yeah.
The place is actually pretty filthy from what I hear.
I heard that.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
Rwanda. That's the reason why they don't throw that in our face. But that was one thing that stood out to me the most, was the culture of violence, because I was talking, and even when I mentioned drill music, that type of, they have a reverence for the hip hop here. I was hearing Tupac's name over there quite a bit.
Oh,
Talking
word.
about like, yeah, man, Pac, man, I listen to Pac. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
They still
"That's my
listening to
favorite-
Pac."
Yeah, that's my favorite artist.
That's wild.
Yeah, and that's my favorite artist as well. So
Yeah.
talking with them and to hear Pac's name in Senegal,
Right.
and then KRS-One, and them talking about that reverence for hip hop. They
Yeah.
really had this reverence for hip hop. But that culture of violence is the thing that I noticed, because out here you'll hear that, fuck that nigga over there and all this other stuff. And that concept was not quite like that there, because then the next question that was asked was, how many of y'all has had a friend, because it's black, it's nothing but black out there. And it was so refreshing, because I deal with my racial battle fatigue, to experience 0% racism,
Yeah.
to get the
What
hell
el-
out of America.
What you mean by racial battle fatigue?
So racial battle fatigue, racism is designed to make you feel like you're going crazy.
Yeah.
So what racial battle fatigue is, the constant microaggressions, micro insults, having to constantly code switch. Man, this stuff creates PTSD, because there's people working in corporate environments, and every time they walk through that door, it's not about them having hard work. It's about, how can we make sure you do not rise in here,
Mm-hmm.
while you got white executives lazy as hell. If they was doing the same thing they was doing, they would have been fired. And we got to get out of this mentality of, well, I got to work 10 times as hard and all this other stuff. This stuff is tied into racial battle fatigue, because you got to name it to tame it.
Yeah.
If you can't name it, you can't tame it. When you name it, you can fight in the light. If you can't name it, you're fighting in the dark. So
Mhm.
whatever you can name, you can tame. And a lot of black people aren't aware that this is racial battle fatigue. Throw that on the bottom of the screen, because so people can actually look that up, so you can actually name it. Because
Yeah.
racism is designed to make you feel like you're going crazy. So microaggressions, macroaggressions, they're really macroaggressions. Because if you've worked in environments and something is, off, and you gotta go, what did Sally say? And if you, my rule of thumb is, if you have to go, what's that? It probably was.
Yeah.
You say, damn, what in the world is going on? That sounds really racist. You know what I mean? So those are called micro insults. This stuff compiles up. This stuff affects mental health. We should have, and that's another thing. You asked me about my nonprofit and what the aim is with the Black Mental Health and Wellness Coalition. Is for me to create resources for us to heal in the community and also effectively combat racial battle fatigue. You know, and this is also attached to a concept called John Henryism. When we say, I'm grinding.
Yeah.
You grind when you're hitting something in the stone because the dust grinds away. Right?
Yeah.
So we got to be mindful of that, because the story to that is that was a real man, and he was battling, going up against the machine, because he was the greatest railroaders, and his name was John Henry, a black man. And they was making the machine to see how efficient the machine could be, because they said, man, this dude is just phenomenal. He taps into the superpower of black people that we have, this melanin that they don't have. And he would do it, and it's evident they was probably betting on it and stuff, and he would win every time until he was doing it so much he died working. And it's called John Henryism. So when we say we're grinding, I have to change that up. You know, I get it, hustled off, but dang, it's just kind of like, well, man, I say I'm adapting because I'm taking on the day, and my maxim is every day is a new life. When midnight hits, yesterday was so long ago.
Yeah.
So when we say we grinding as black men, I'm not trying to be, you know, the word police, but spelling words, spells. Our words are magic, you know?
Yeah.
But that's where that comes from. That's also attached to racial battle fatigue.
Yeah.
So there may be some individuals listening and be like, damn, man, yeah, racism is designed to make you feel like you're going crazy, but it's called racial battle fatigue. Just look that word up. It was a black man in Utah, at Utah University. His name is William Smith. He was the one that was sitting and coining some of these terms here. And it makes sense. He's up there in Utah.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So that is one of the main things that I'm driving. Well, the Black Male Therapist Initiative as well, that, you know, I'm finishing up my doctorate, I'm tying up in these programs and stuff to get us some help to combat this racial battle fatigue here, because it's different in Africa.
Yeah.
You know, they that racism stuff, they don't really have that concept here. So when they get here, right, a lot of us African Americans, they be like, man, why are you dealing with all them white people? Why you know what I mean? But if you go to Africa, it's nothing but black people there.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like, well, how am I going to get the concept of racism when I'm getting pummeled economically, and then we're collective, and here it's individualized.
Yeah.
There's like, did you eat? Here it's like, shit, I don't care if you ate. I'm full.
Right.
You know, man, that was good. You know, oh man, I'm hungry. Well, I'm Jason. You know?
Right.
Oh man, hungry. That's an
like,
interesting
shit,
name.
If you ain't ate, man, I feel bad for you because I'm getting mine.
Yeah.
You know, that's
tough
like,
on you, bro.
Yeah.
Bundle up.
Yeah, man.
So, but yeah, that's another part of those programs, and then also what you're doing. You know, this is how you make that paradigm shift in the culture. So when you ask me what was the biggest thing I noticed, it was the culture of violence. I want to see more street guys, more guys get on here and talk about, like, man, I'm seeing this paradigm shift here, because you notice, you know, I get it. It's street music and stuff, but you know, the love songs been gone.
Yeah,
right?
they don't make them no
They don't
more.
make them no more.
Yeah.
The songs about peace and all the other stuff, and then the enlightenment stuff, because in the 90s, it wasn't all about kill, 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 kill. Tupac also has songs about, you know, liberating the black woman and all of this other stuff. Like, you don't see that in a lot of spaces, but it's who's controlling the industry.
Yeah.
Who's in charge of the industry.
Yeah.
And that's your genre. That's, you know,
Yeah.
I'm not going to pretend that I could just keep wear that hat.
Yeah.
That's stuff that you could speak to, but that's what I would love to see centered, is talking about the culture of violence. Make good music, but if we all have the same enemy, how do we become adversaries?
Mm-hmm.
How did we become adversaries?
Yeah.
Like, we got to talk about the culture of violence that's sold to us, it's sold to the street guys.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pivotal. It's pivotal.
And it's really like, it's spreading like across the world too, though. You know, like gangbanging is like becoming a thing in other countries.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna get to a point where it's affecting the whole world. You know,
It is.
because everybody looks to Americans, especially Black Americans.
Yeah, us.
You know, as an example.
Yeah.
You know,
Historically.
we gonna dig into a whole lot more on you in Africa and your goals with the nonprofit, Black mental health and all of that. As soon as we get back from this break, man, we gotta pay some bills real quick, so we'll be right back. Jason Shankle, man, Mackin in.
Already. Yeah. Yeah, that's dope.
What's good, Sadiddy Committee? It's your girl, Sadiddy J, and y'all are tuning in to Season 8 on our network, the best Black media network in the nation. And y'all are also tapping into the first season of the Sadiddy Scene. Make sure to tune into our network live on Facebook and YouTube to get seen with Sadiddy J. Hashtag Sadiddy Committee.
We still together.
Big Mama's back. What's good in the hood? Sheen Show. All of the above, baby. We are coming back for Season 8. Every Monday, 5:30. Y'all know where to catch me. Facebook and YouTube. Y'all know how we do. I got just more than TikToks this season, right? I'm going to put you niggas to work since y'all like to see me working. Y'all are actually going to help me decide what I'm going to cook the following week. I'm so looking forward to it. I can't wait to see y'all there. I feel like we've been gone, that I don't even know y'all no more. Miss Sophia don't even know y'all no more. Make sure y'all tap in so we can get reacquainted. I miss y'all. I got a new face, a new look, a new wig. Tap in, baby, every Monday. I can't wait to see y'all there. Facebook, YouTube. Y'all know how we do. Sheen so cool. See you there.
Hey, what's happening, man? It's Hunter Rack 6, and right now, you locked into the MACKIN show on the 8th season of our network. As usual, we got some of the dopest guests coming to sit down and chop game with us. We'll also be continuing our segments like The Streets is Talking, where we'll be digging into some of the hottest topics and current events from around the world. The second is Good Game. We'll be sharing some good game, beneficial information, and you're probably gonna learn something that you didn't know before, so you definitely don't want to miss that one. The third is Video of the Week. We'll be reviewing some videos from some of the up-and-coming artists from around the city, so all the artists, make sure you send them videos in. So make sure you tune in every Wednesday on our network. We'll be streaming on YouTube and Facebook, man, so make sure you mack in.
Yay! I'm back. Season 8. Bet that with Robbie the Rockets on our network. Check me out, man. Tuesdays, Fridays, 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I'ma have it fired up as always. I got your player props. I got your live betting. I even got my pick 7, as you always know. I always got my pick 7. And I got something new this season on Season 8. I got Spin the Wheels. You get a chance to win cash prizes and raffles. Check me out. Tuesdays and Fridays, 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Bet that on our network.
What's happening, man? We back, man, on the MACKIN show. I got a very special guest, Jason Shankle, with me today. Soon to be Dr. Jason Shankle. Dope show today, man. We're gonna definitely dig back into some things, you know, that we've been talking about. But before we get into that, we're going to get into video of the week. We got a dope video today, man. Shout out to my guy, Trace Chapman. He just did a Tiny Desk audition with a live band, man. It's dope. It's crazy. So we're going to dig into that, and we'll be right back, man. The MACKIN Show.
Yeah. Miami Vice. Yeah. Look, you know the rules to the game, it ain't got no friends. Peanut butter letter flows, got my buzz on 10. Slept on wind, woman like a Metro friend. Calculated groovyism, I'm the next Rakim. I can make the weather change and the raindrops skinnier. The bitch wanted to audition with me, I permitted her. Say she like to go y'all bag, it was prettier. She never seen a real life threat, I was grittier. Then at the Katsu ramen, talking that bag talk. Hard with the low pro eyes, gripping that asphalt. Not really interested in per diem, down fast talk. Blowing different strain in the bucket like it's a track hawk, yeah. Shit feel like it's Miami Vice, it's not a drill. She ain't never witnessed a threat, she gotta chill. How we running through all our plays, we in the field. Why you focusing on this ice, you know the deal. Shit feel like it's Miami Vice, it's not a drill. She ain't never witnessed a threat, she gotta chill. How we running through all our plays, we in the field. Why you focusing on this ice, you know the deal. She been studying my grammar in her spare time. I been upping on my baggage like the airline. Double shot Cavassier smoothed and it was bedtime. Just had that money by the deadline. I can make the snowfall stop, shit, I'm the weatherman. Far from local shit, they know me in the Netherlands. Tell the fans, niggas know my verses like I'm Method Man. I get higher in them planes and I never land. Dinner reservations with the conversation hitting like politicking, trying to pull you out the city life. I ain't talking about no dance, but I'm gritty type. Recognition from my voice, I get plenty hype, yeah. That's facts. Shit feel like it's Miami Vice, it's not a drill. She ain't never witnessed a threat, she gotta chill. How we running through all our plays, we in the field. Why you focusing on this ice, you know the deal. Shit feel like it's Miami Vice, it's not a drill. She ain't never witnessed a threat, she gotta chill. How we running through all our plays, we in the field. Why you focusing on this ice, you know the deal. It's not a drill. She ain't never witnessed a threat, she gotta chill. How we running through all our plays, we in the field. Why you focusing on this ice, you know the deal. Shit feel like it's Miami Vice, it's not a drill. She ain't never witnessed a threat, she gotta chill. How we running through all our plays, we in the field. Why you focusing on this ice, you know the deal. Facts. Trace Chapman for Tiny Desk 2024. Enjoy.
Yeah, man, Trace Chapman, man, the Tiny Desk audition. That was dope. That was dope. I love it, man. I love the live band behind them doing their thing. Trace always show up lyrically and all that, man. And he from your side of town, man. He from Park Hill, man.
Already.
What you think about it?
Man, I love his style.
Yeah,
I love his style. He's a lyricist. He's tough. You know, I mean, he's tough, and I love how, you know, incorporating the live band feel. You know what I mean? Really getting back to music. Like getting back to the essence of the music is just being like, man, we got real instruments, we got real saxophones, I mean, when I see that, that's a man that is taking artistic risks in his talent.
Yep. To me, man, it's like the difference between like, you know, a beat and a live band is like, it's the difference between listening or hearing something and feeling it.
Yeah.
Like you can, when you listen to something with a live band, you feel that. You know what I'm saying? You're not just hearing that, you feeling it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the part that I really love about the live band, man. Trace Chapman, man, Tiny Desk audition, man. He need to get on the Tiny Desk, man. So you feel me? I don't know if they taking votes or whatever, man, but y'all make sure y'all support Trace Chapman, man. It's love.
For real.
But yeah, man, we gonna get back to Shank, man.
Let's jump in.
Dr. Shankle.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you said you was in Africa. You took the trip to Africa. You got to experience a lot of different things. One of the things that you know that dawned on you was the culture of violence in America. Now, when you was out there, is it just love everywhere from everyone? And how was it out there? What made you think like, damn, man, we really got a culture of violence where I'm from?
Well, you know, it was really when I was talking to those students. And then, yes, it's love places, but, you know, I don't want to get it twisted like it's a kumbaya type situation where everybody just floating around. It's destitute, people hungry. You can't just be whipping your money out and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? The currency, you know, balancing and stuff like that. I mean, in these places that's really destitute. There's buildings. China's moving in on Africa.
I heard that.
There's a lot of buildings just, you know, pummeled and stuff like that. So what I would say is, you know, I did feel peaceful. But with that culture of violence, it didn't hit me until I was in front of that class. Because then the next question that was asked was, how many of y'all had a friend or somebody or a family member kill each other? Or black on black violence? And they said, raise your hand. And then what we did was, okay, that same question going to us. Man, we was up there saying names for a very, very long time.
Right.
And then they was just the look on their face was just kind of like,
that's what y'all be going through?
Yeah, we don't know nothing about that.
That's crazy.
And then one dude asked a question. He said, how is it being a black man in America? I said, man, it's like constantly having to have your armor on in a place where somebody stole your living room. You know? Yeah, because this is ours.
Right.
This is ours.
Yeah.
You know? And then I said, you know, and then also having to constantly be on guard and be protected. Because getting pulled over by the police, you could possibly lose your life. You could possibly lose your life.
Yep.
Let alone being into street stuff and then how things go around, come around, and the art and the never-ending retaliation doom cycle.
Yeah.
Just like what we was talking about a minute ago. Or making the connections with the street guys so they can actually feel comfortable with somebody that's not going to judge them and just put some philosophy in their mind.
Yeah.
And just something to just be like, hey man, we actually all have the same enemy. We're not trying to sit here and just go kumbaya, XYZ.
Yeah.
But you got the connections and you know how to, you know, and I got those connections too and stuff like that. But, you know, to the degree that you do, you making the music, you see the stuff. You just like, man, my buddy's going this direction. He in and out. He going here.
Yeah.
And remember, Malcolm X was in prison for 7 years until he had encountered someone from the Nation of Islam that said, hey, man, you don't have to think like that. You don't want to.
Yeah, and kind of what you speaking to is like, you know, how can we, just for the audience, kind of what he's speaking to is like, how can we, you know, make that culture of violence, how can we digress that? How can we change it? You know what I'm saying? And we was kind of talking about it off the air, and I was letting them know, like, man, you know, the ones that are, you know, coming, you know, awaken to the truth, you know, they kind of, once they get awakened, man, they kind of go over here, and they not messing with the streets no more. And, you know, it has to be a balance with that because we gotta, you know, part of the goal is to be able to, you know, teach our people. You know what I mean? So we have to have that relationship with, you know, the young street niggas, and be relatable to them. Don't look down on them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we was once in that mind state.
Yeah, we was.
You know what I mean? And we were lucky to be able to get out of it on our own. We didn't have nobody to come and scoop us up and, you know, put this in their face and let them know, like, look, man, I know you're going to do what you're going to do, but I understand, you know what I'm saying? This is what it is, and this is how we get through it. Come holler at me when you want to. You know what I'm saying? It's open arms to you whenever you ready. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, eventually, what the thing that I do notice, like, a lot of the young niggas, they do, you know, eventually, I don't know what that was, but a lot of the young niggas, man, they do want to, you know, get guidance from the older generation that's, you know, that's on a positive movement. It's just not the older generation isn't reaching back out to them. You know what I'm saying? And it's different from us. Like when we came up, we was like seeking the information. We would go holler at the OGs, or, you know, we'll ask questions, but this younger generation, they don't do that. They kind of feel like, you know, we got to holler at them. And, you know, we kind of do, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can't just be like, oh, well, we was like this, so they got to be like this. Like, it's different for them.
It's different. It's not the same.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we got to make an effort and show them that, like, you know, y'all is important. We do care about y'all. You know what I'm saying? And y'all future, we got to show y'all the way. You feel me?
We need that.
So yeah, that's just my outlook on kind of how that's a way that we can, you know, bridge that gap and kind of reverse that culture of violence. But it's gonna take a long time, just because it's been embedded into us for a long time.
Right.
You know?
Very long time. Very long time. Yeah, we have the power. We'll be collaborating on some of those pieces.
And it's like in the streets, man. The streets, like you just said. Malcolm X was locked up for 7 years before he got introduced to Islam, right? He was one of the most powerful speakers, motivators, you know, activists ever in America. So it's like the streets is gonna have your strongest soldiers in it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like we really can't leave y'all alone. This is where we, you know, this is where we drafting our soldiers from.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
powerful generals and Clarence 13X Allah, the five percenters, you know what he was on. He was like, man, I'm talking to the street guy and let them know, man, you a God.
Yeah.
He was like, man, you gonna smoke or drink, okay, that's your decision, but your mind and your spirit is your responsibility. What's the supreme lessons? What's the mathematics? He didn't come judging and just saying you shouldn't be smoking and drinking, you sin.
Yeah.
Clarence 13X Allah wasn't on that.
Yeah.
He wasn't.
Because he understood that. He understood that concept.
He did.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what we need to do.
What's you into the mental health with black men in the community? What are some major issues that you see with black men's mental health nowadays?
You know, some things I see is the lack of the rituals to stay grounded. You can't spell spiritual without ritual. And you think about it, yeah, we could say we have a lot of toxic masculinity, things like that, but the black man is always being targeted. It's not like the white man don't got it, Chinese man don't, but not to our degree. But that's what I'm saying. It's all piled on us. And something that I noticed with black men is we have to process our emotions and our trauma. And it does help to sit down with the black man. This is a members only club. And I can see where there's distrust to sit down with the white therapist. And I see that. And I do see that because what happens is you see it transfer over in our relationships. Right? So it's just like that. Because a lot of us are walking around with mother and father wounds.
Yeah.
And not willing to do the shadow work. So when you say specific to black men, we're constantly in battles. This is what I say: war is forever. You can only maintenance the battles.
Yeah.
So make it, you know, you might as well make battling your mistress. And she's just always going to be around, but not in a mean way.
Yeah.
You know? So that's something I noticed with black men and us black men becoming more tribal because what I'm about to say, you know, like you know this too. Us black men, oftentimes we isolate.
Yeah.
We isolate. I notice in quite a few other cultures, you know, it's just like it's the lack of tribalism with us because we just go, man, I'm on an island.
Yeah.
I'm on an island. And that don't mean it got to be kumbaya. Oh, we got to all meet at Starbucks. We all got to meet at, you know, down at. But that's the thing that I see that was the mental divide upon us.
Yeah.
Because you think about it, we going through these relationships, we going through this stuff on our own, and we just get to a place where we just like, man, I can't trust him, man. I ain't going to seem like I'm whining and all that. But that's the thing. We're lacking that tribalism. So when I see that in black men, one of the things that I see the biggest is how do us black men deal with self-sabotaging? Self-sabotage comes from a word, saboteurs. And we all do them. So some of us may be hyper-rational, some of us may be conflict avoidant, but we're sitting and doing all of this stuff. We got to name it to tame it.
Yeah.
Because we can't name it, we can't tame it. With us black men, we are constantly, we're hunted more than the lions.
Mm-hmm.
Really. So think about it. If that is what's happening with all of us and we're all siloed, doesn't that seem like that's what the adversary sold us? Because then we would have more tribalism.
It's just fear. You know what I'm saying? Like when you were saying that, it just reminded me of like the 50th Law. I don't know if you read that.
Oh yeah, with 50 Cent.
50 and Robert Greene. Yeah, but
48 Laws are probably a good one too.
Yeah, for sure. 50th Law was kind of touching on like, you know, people allowing fear to keep them from doing things, and fear can come in many different ways. You could be fearful of many different things. So it's like being fearful of conflict, like you said, or fearful of losing, or
there it is.
At the end of the day, it's just like you have no fear, and you have no fear in this life. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be all right. You know, you fear God. You know, if you know, but you don't fear anything else, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And then the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. Whenever I hear fear. False evidence appearing real.
Yeah, because it's just thoughts that you have, and that's creating this fear in you.
Yeah, and that's a cognitive distortion called fortune telling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, like when you ask that question about the mental, that's us processing it. All of us do these things, but we got to name it to tame it. And us black men are hunted more than the lions.
Yeah.
But fear, you're right.
Yeah. Man, you also have your nonprofit. Tell us about, you know, some more about your programs that you have going on with that, and what you plan on doing with that in the near future.
Okay. Yeah. So we talked about the bridges here, the black male therapist initiative. That's a really big one because I'm looking to. I love what I do. I love being a therapist, but influence spreads faster than change. Change is kind of like a door that goes back and forth. If it changes this way, it could change that way. But when you influence something, that's different. So I'm looking to make more therapists, black male therapists, black female therapists, move more into a supervision role. I'm still going to be seeing clients and doing therapy and that type of stuff. Okay. But that's one of the real big projects in addressing this racial battle fatigue. Some other programs, a docu-series that I got this vision of to really sit to awaken the minds and the philosophy. My erudite book club, I read a lot of books. Being able to sit in, like when we was kicking philosophy, before we set this up, just having that connection of that spiritual piece. Because once again, you can't spell spiritual without ritual.
Yeah.
So we got to have the ritual. So, you know, that's in the works. Some other stuff that I'm doing. I got some business partners. We're looking to. It's called my therapy vibes. Well, we're looking to bring in different holistic strategies instead of just saying let's just talk about it X Y Z. Man, maybe it's a sound, maybe it's a meditation, maybe it's a sound bowl, maybe it's and all of this is under my nonprofit Black Mental Health and Wellness Coalition. Recently got a grant that came in. That was a blessing. But looking to build, and I want to connect with the street guys.
Yeah.
Because I've done work at DYC. I've been out to Lookout Mountain. I've been out to the Foot and things like that. I really got tired of going to funerals. I really did. And there's something called secondary trauma, where you could experience something and it could trigger when it was first trauma to you, and then that secondary trauma where you're like, man, we going to another funeral.
Yeah.
And then you just get numb.
Yeah,
right?
you do.
You get numb.
You get to stop crying at them after a while. You know what I'm saying? I done been there, man.
Yeah. So those are just a few that come to my mind, just really fueling a lot of those pieces. But yeah, then the Erudite Book Club and these pieces. So it's rolling out in sections. It really is rolling out in sections. But yeah, those workshops and just continue to tap in. And I'm gonna bring you in on some stuff because I don't forget about the street guys.
Yeah, we gotta collab for sure.
They're on my mind.
Yeah. Like we just said, man, a lot of our strongest soldiers, they gonna be in the streets. You know, so we can't forget about them.
Nah.
You kind of touched on it earlier in the interview, but what do you feel, or how important do you feel, Black men getting more into our spirituality? How important do you think that is? We had conversations about, us coming into IFA through our different routes, and I told you, like, I've been meeting a lot of Black men that are finding, our spirituality on our different paths, and it's crazy to me because it's like, the more that I talk to our brothers, the more that I find out that we are really into it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot more of us than we think. You know what I'm saying? So how important do you feel it is for us to, spread that knowledge and for us to, find our spirituality?
I think it's the engine to wherever we want to go. Because it's that important. It really is that important because that ritual piece of that connection and that's the thing, you know what I mean? It's that alignment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because this is an alignment.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as a coincidence when it comes to the Most High energy, because the Most High energy is too busy being great in its own power.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to be able to invest into our God self and our Ori. You have to, like, that's the thing. It kind of reminds me of this fable of, so you talked about the importance of it. Because typically when people hear spirit, they say, well, where's God at? Where is the thing that saves me and all this other stuff? But this is how this is how it goes. It's a fable. And actually with fables, that was created by a Black man named Aesop.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we hear those fables and stuff, that was a Black man. We created everything. So next subject with that. But this is how it goes. It was a guy was having a conversation with one of his highest ranked angels. And said, hey, listen, I see what's going on down here. They think it's sweet and that's cool, but I need them to learn some things. He said, but I need them to have more diligence in seeking me out. I just want them to find me. I don't want to just hide from them.
Yeah.
And he says, where would you hide if I was, trying to just get you to look for me and make it difficult? He said, and then the Most High goes, and remember this is a fable, says, well, look, I'll hide, what about the deepest ocean of the sea?
Yeah.
And the highest ranked angel goes, nah, man will come up with something to try to go all the way down into the depths to find you. Because look what they did when they built the staircase. I don't think that that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because the Most High was testing the angel and said, okay. Well, what about, what about in like the depths of the ground, in the mountains somewhere, you think? And the angel goes, no. They would be too curious and continue to pursue to the point to where they wouldn't even care if they was dying in order to get there. It wouldn't be serious. And then Most High was testing the angel and says, where, if you were me, where would you hide? Where you think they would not look. And the angel goes, yeah, you taught me this wisdom. He goes, hide inside of them. They'll never look there.
Yeah.
So God is inside of you.
Yeah.
So when you ask me that question, how do we continue to heal inside of us? So when you say that with Black man, how important is spirituality? It's the most important energy charge that you will ever have to stay connected with the universe above you.
Yeah.
It's that important.
Mm-hmm.
It really is that important. High energy, high level.
Yeah.
That's the main circuit.
Yep.
It's the main circuit.
And for the audience, kind of what we talking about, Ifa is it's a spiritual practice. It's a Yoruban spiritual practice.
Yeah.
But a lot of different, like a lot of Mexicans, they
sangria.
Yeah,
they call it
Santeria.
Santeria.
But and then you got hoodoo, voodoo, and
yeah, which is not bad stuff. They just put that other stuff.
Right, and they got other divisions of it that are under Ifa, but they all use the power of Ifa. So it's definitely something I tell all my people, man, like look into it. I don't discourage whatever religion that people practice, because I grew up Christian, and I'm always looking to seek more and more knowledge on things. So I don't discourage nobody's religion, but I do encourage Ifa. You know what I'm saying? And people will come into it, when it's fit. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely try to put it in front of my folks' face and let them know, like, my good experiences through it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I me personally, man, I do think it's very important for the ones that have the knowledge to spread the knowledge. You know what I'm saying? I feel like spirituality amongst Black men is very important. You know what I'm saying? And I see more and more of us getting into it. You know what I'm saying? And one thing about Black men, when we get into something, we passionate about it, and we gonna spread the word on it. You know what I mean? We gonna make it look good too. You feel me? So we gonna make y'all want to get into it. But yeah, man, I definitely feel like it is important.
Yeah.
You also are owner of a publishing company, a book publishing company, Book King.
Yeah, Book King Publishing.
Yeah, tell us about that, man. You're an author too, man. I see you brought us some books, man. You got 3 books with you, but yeah. Tell us about the publishing company.
Yeah, so Book King Publishing, I self-published. So my first book, so it's under my pen name, Black Ausar. Black Ausar just means Black God. It's Ausar is, or actually, I say Ausar is Aser, but tomato, but it be black.
My man speak multiple languages, so you know what I'm saying? He kicking in both languages to you. You feel me?
Yeah, just a little bit,
Yeah.
So my poetry pen names, Black Ausar, soul searching poetry, and then that's Crowns and Shattered Dreams.
Yeah, this is one of them.
Yeah, this is soul searching poetry. Yeah, I love to write. I just love to write.
Yeah.
And so Book King Publishing, I'm actually in the process of releasing my 3rd poetry book, and I'm releasing a book of affirmations for Black men.
Okay.
And then also I'm going to be releasing the compilations of my collected writings on race and everything like that as I was going through my academic doctoral career.
Okay.
Kind of like how Dr. Bobby Wright did. He was
Okay.
a famous psychologist in Chicago, and he wrote a book called The Psychopathic Personality, where he was breaking down white people and the psychopathology of what they do and stuff, and it was his essays. So I took a really big reverence for that.
Okay.
But Dr. Bobby Wright, he's pretty deep. And then also my other pen name is Jay Shankle, so I released a philosophy series, Suffer Less.
So yeah, this is the one that's under Jason Shankle.
Yeah. So Jay Shankle, and it's Suffer Less, Meditations for Transforming Trauma into Healing. And so it's
I got mine signed too. You feel me?
Already.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, tell us about this one.
Yeah. So that one, this philosophy, you know what? Read, just open up to something random. I'm always curious when people just like, what is it about turning into that?
Don't ever let anyone break your spirit. Anyone. So we'll read a couple of them. Some journeys can't have passengers. Heal your spirit because you owe it to yourself. And we'll just go to another random. Pain is something we need to remember and learn lessons. So these is like, I love this because it's just a big book of quotes. You know, straight to the point, short and to the point.
Yeah,
I love this idea.
Yeah. So that's the first book out of my philosophy series.
Okay.
I'm actually working on another one. That one's cooking. I'm actually writing about it I'm simultaneously writing 5 books at the same time. But that's Book King Publishing. I've had that for quite a few years, and then I have a publisher company. It's a sister company that I'm bringing other authors on. So my cousin Brooklyn York, she's about to be dropping her second book under Loaded Pen Publishers.
Okay.
Because a lot of people approach me and say, "Hey man, you help me learn how to self-publish." And my first question is always, do you want to be an author or do you want to put a book out? Because I'm an author.
Yeah.
And we could do that depending on how our relationship is and logistics and stuff. But I seen a void. And so with Loaded Pen Publisher, I'm an owner of both of those. So Book King Publishing is typically what I'm known for because a lot of people see the stuff that I post every week on that page and stuff like that. And I'll put up some poetry stuff. I'm actually going to be hosting the House of Poetry. Shout out to Kenya Fashaw, March 28th. So just the second time doing that, getting on the stage and bringing some of the other artists there to and doing it for the culture.
You said the House of Poetry?
House of Poetry.
Where's that at?
It's off of Dayton
Okay.
and Colfax, and she does it every fourth Thursday. Every fourth Thursday. And so
I have to tap in with that.
yeah. So getting up there, I love being a composer. I'm not really a spoken word dude, but I know pieces. I'll get up there and I'll do it and get into it. There's pieces I memorize and stuff like that. But Loaded Pen Publisher, that's the one that I'm releasing, a few
Okay.
select individuals. So yeah, that's my way of giving back. And all of this stuff, self-publishing, I learned how to do it. So I know how to do it from front to back. And my books are they're all on Amazon. So if you typed in, Black Ausar, Ausar is AUSAR, or you just type in Jay Shankle or Soul Searching Poetry, Crown Shattered Dreams, it's on Amazon.
Okay.
So yeah, much respect for the people that support and leave a book review and stuff like that, show me love.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, much respect.
Y'all make sure y'all tap in, MACKIN, man.
Yeah.
Look my guy up. Some dope books, just reading a couple pages out of a few of them. I'm going to definitely dig my head into them here soon. But, yeah, man, it's dope to see it, man. And, if you, any young folks out there, y'all looking into, writing a book, becoming an author, tap in with him. You know what I'm saying? He'll definitely be here to help y'all out, man. Another thing that I wanted to touch on, man, you came with some drip on today, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So you got a clothing line.
I have a clothing line. This is one of my pieces. This is, black brands made by black hands. The name of my clothing line is Success de Gloire. So if you see that SG, this is actually one of the pieces here. So when I, get my stuff rolling and going, I'm gonna pull up on you.
Yeah, man. You gotta drop one back off for me.
Drop some stuff off on both. You know what I'm saying? So this is one of these pieces right here. So I love to design things and stuff. So this is actually made in Senegal because I want to be intentional about having it made in Senegal. Black brands by black hands.
Yeah.
And then I'm dedicating a certain percentage and stuff like that because I'm gonna be going back to Senegal. Just recyclable money and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, this is one of my pieces right here. Yeah, when I seen it, I go pick the fabrics out and everything, and all of this stuff is made in Senegal.
Okay.
And they know made in USA type of stuff because I want to be able to give back and magnify our greatness in these places. So yeah, this is Success de Gloire, and I'm gonna be releasing something. And so I do bomber jackets, I do raincoats, do hats. There may be some T-shirts, but I like to do one-to-one stuff.
Yeah.
I just like to do one-to-one stuff, or just release a certain edition that's just like it's only 9, and then that's it. So if you see somebody with it, man, you got to look for the number on that because if it's a 10, that's bad business. That's
a piece of art too.
Yeah. All of that. So there's gonna be some limited editions, and by the end of this year, probably November, I'll be rolling out quite a few things, and maybe before that. But I got so many projects going on. But yeah, this is one of my pieces right here. But Success de Gloire. It's French for success of glory.
Okay.
Success of glory.
I like that.
Yeah.
It sounds real extravagante.
Yeah.
Success de glory.
Yeah.
You feel me? Yeah, I need my little drip, man.
Yeah, already. I got you. Yeah.
But yeah, man, before we get out of here, man, I want you to let everybody know where they can find you at. Definitely, I want you to let them know, if anybody out there is interested in getting some type of therapy, I want you to let them know where they can find you at for that as well.
Yeah. So my website is innerselfandwisdom.com. So it's INNERSELFANDWISDOM.com. Yeah, you go to that website, man. I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist. I'm a CAC2 addiction psychotherapist. I'm EMDR trained for individuals, so I do couples, I do individual, I'm a certified family mediator, I do family therapy, all of those pieces. So you just go to that website. And then also my Instagram handle is just Inner Self Wisdom. It's just without the N. I'm pretty known. Yeah, Inner Self Wisdom on Instagram, and I'm on LinkedIn. And there's a lot of people that know me through my daily posts, and I get so many private messages too as well from a lot of black people. Even some white people reach out to me and stuff, and they just say, "Hey, man, the stuff that you post on these pages every morning, it's like I'm having a mini therapy session because the stuff you posted about saboteurs and trauma and things like that. Because let's just be real here. Some people, it takes a moment for them to be ready to actually get help because it's hard for some people to ask for help.
Yeah,
it's been hard for me to even ask for help, and I'm a therapist, but I've had to break through that piece. So that's that piece. As far as my books, you just go to Amazon. Just go to Amazon, type my name in there. Some of those things will pop up, and then my nonprofit website is on my Inner Self and Wisdom page because I'm building some stuff out. And then Success de Gloire, it's just represented by SG. It's on Instagram now, but much later going to be releasing some stuff. But really, that therapy piece is the main piece here. Go to that website, and then just reach out. Just reach out to me. And then that number there that's on the website is just 720-651-2556. Individuals that may be like apprehensive and stuff like that, that's my direct business line on my other phone. So if there are individuals, you just text a name, hey man, I seen you on, you know, Anthony Bo's show, that type of situation and stuff. Because there's a lot of black men that reach out to me.
Yeah.
And I do free consultations. And when I talk to them, you know, they kind of get to that point where they just say, hey man, I'm ready. I'm ready. It took my partner to keep bringing it up in front of me. And then, unfortunately, it takes some deaths. It takes some deaths. That's how a lot of black men end up sitting in front of me. Because they're just like, yeah, they said, man, I was just having a conversation with my partner and I just realized he was crying out for help.
Yeah.
And now he's dead.
Damn.
Now he's dead. And he said, but I didn't know how to help him.
Yeah.
We was just talking about the shadow work. We was talking about the demons we fight, and now he's dead. So I'm doing something that I wish I could have told him to do. Sometimes that's the reason. I've heard that one many times.
Man,
many times.
Crazy.
Many times.
Well, yeah, man. Like I said, man, anybody out there, man, watching the show, if y'all, you know, been thinking about getting some therapy, you know, ain't found somebody that y'all comfortable with, man, tap in with him, you know, give it a try. You know what I'm saying? And he's a good dude, man. You know, part of our community, black man, you know, so he understands what we going through. You know what I mean? So definitely tap in with him, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate you coming on the show tonight, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We gonna keep the bridge, you know, locked in, man. We gonna do some other things. I definitely want to collaborate with you, with my nonprofit. So we gonna do some things, man.
Yeah, a lot.
Man, I appreciate you, brother.
Much respect, bro.
Man, the MACKIN Show, 100 Rack 6, my guy, Jason Shankle, and we out. We macking out.
All right. Dang.